Hey everyone. February 2024 has been like a little dark age for my trading. Finally, it's over. Spring is here and there are things to talk about. As I've shown you before, the P&L for the month was hovering around zero all the time. High Bitcoin trades were pretty much nowhere to be found. The short-term volatility was pretty low, despite the price of Bitcoin steadily climbing up and reaching new heights. So I kept trying to make something work on low Bitcoin volatility. And boy, have I tried quite a bit. First, I attempted to further optimize my existing natural selection flat market strategy. Initially, I dropped the order sizes to 100 or 200 USDT on all active markets group 0 and all 0.8 distance algos, since they have been losing more money than any other. Then I started tracking the performance of each algo very closely. With vastly different order sizes, comparing based on P&L was out of the question, so I switched to ROE. For algos with bad ROE, I kept dropping the order size, going as low as 50. And for well-performing algos, I kept or increased the order size, anywhere from 500 to 1500 USDT. This seemed to work for a little while, especially during week 8. Then the low ROE values kept encroaching upon higher and higher distances and higher groups. Pretty soon, anything below 1.5 and anything on the sell side was out. All the while, I kept updating the whitelists almost every other day, but that wasn't much help either. For my highest distance of 2.4, I tried getting higher takes by using auto price down, starting at 1% and gradually dropping to 0.1% over 1.2 seconds. Well, the takes did get pretty high, averaging 0.76%, but on the other hand, the losses and the profit-to-loss ratios were abysmal. This approach may be viable, but not in the specific implementation that I used. It needs much more refinement. So that was out as well. I tried custom single coin algos. I was made aware of a coin that had lots of shots during a specific day. So I tried to watch it, get an idea of the frequency and the size of the shots, and build custom algos around that. It worked for a few dozen minutes on extremely low distances, and then, with 2 bigger shots, it swept away over 30 USDT, so that didn't work so well. Then I tried playing around with trace data versus ticker price, specifically at the distance of 1.1, to see if it makes any difference. I used exactly the same algos, only with different data sources across 6 days. The final P&L turned out to be pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is that on ticker price, there had been twice as many trades. I also tried the same thing with data gathering at 1.1. Same algos with different data sources. Here, the results are also very similar, though it was very inconsistent day to day. Some days, trades data does almost 4 USDT better, and other days, more than 2 USDT worse. I don't know what to make of it. Which brings us to data gathering overall. In the past few weeks, the number of trades returned to the pre-Dark Age levels. The total selections are also up, but as I've mentioned earlier, they do not seem to work in real trading algos. So what's the deal? Well, let's see. Over the previous 4 months, data gathering on flat Bitcoin kept costing me pretty much a stable rate of 1 USDT per day. But in the recent 2 to 3 weeks, it jumped up to 5. Look at these days. -16, -15, -11, -8, -7, -7, and that's per day. -15 USDT is really equivalent to -100% ROE. And none of the distances are profitable anymore. How am I supposed to find any good coins when all I have to go on are these huge losses? I guess it's time to refine the data gathering algos as well. First of all, I think they may have a bandwidth problem. You see, there are coins that tend to be active, but pretty much never end up profitable. Here is the all-time data gathering P&L per coin at 0.8. These guys here are eating up a lot of active markets time and a lot of trades, but never amount to anything. Here I have almost 3,000 trades wasted to continuously prove what I already know. These coins do not work. So I'm thinking of making blacklists for data gathering to give other coins a chance to show themselves more often. Secondly, I'm thinking of adjusting the algo parameters themselves, specifically the general section here with various latencies and time windows. Once I have anything concrete to say, I'll let you know. So that was my struggle with flat algos. No matter what I tried, it kept losing money. And since last time, I'm down another 101 USDT with natural selection. What about high Bitcoin then? That's a whole different story. Whereas data gathering on flat Bitcoin was getting worse and worse, resulting in minus 90 USDT over a few weeks, the high Bitcoin at the same time was at an astonishing plus 48 USDT. Towards the very end of February, I doubled my number of subaccounts to give me more room to try new approaches. And while I had no solid ideas yet about what to do with low volatility Bitcoin, I immediately set up additional high Bitcoin algos and covered all available traded pairs with very few exceptions. Literally, a few hours after I did that, Bitcoin went into very high and very prolonged volatility. It was wild. The P&L kept running up to as much as 330, and then down to just 20, and then back up again. Finally, at the end of the day, it settled at around plus 240. I was relieved. Now I have at least something to show for this weird month. And I was happy I doubled down on high Bitcoin. The next few days looked pretty good for these algos, so eventually I decided to double down again, making it a quadruple down if there ever was such a thing. For all coins on each account, I've added a second layer of orders at a higher distance. Half of the accounts got additional algos at 2.4 and the other half at 2.8. The next day started out pretty well. I even had a few profitable trades at those higher distances. At some point, I went out to meet a couple of friends for a few beers. As I was walking out of the house, the P&L was around 200. As I was coming back after a few hours, I couldn't believe my eyes. My Profit Shark's dashboard was showing this. I mean, seriously, almost 2,900 USDT in a few hours, while having drinks at the bar no less. The best beers I've ever had. Of the total profit, the two higher distances brought in about 840 USDT. Not bad. Not bad at all. Which brings us to show me the money. Let's tie all the strategies together. Overall, since last time, I'm up 3,751 USDT, all thanks to the expanded high Bitcoin strats. Here are the high Bitcoin active markets, which I've retired for now because they had been interfering with the main high Bitcoin algos on the same account. Here is my dying natural selection, and here is my failed single coin experiment. On some level, I am dissatisfied that a reliable way of trading on low volatility had not yet been found. But on the other hand, hey, money is money, I'm all for it. Just for fun, let's do a segment called Trade of the Week, just this once. Here we have AGLD, dropping a 9.5% shot, blowing straight through 1.7 and 2.8 orders, and sweeping away 142 USDT in just 1 second. I just thought you'd really get a kick out of seeing this. So, what have we learned today? First, whether you want to take cues from William Edward Hickson, Thomas Edison, or even Aaliyah, if you don't succeed, try and try again. I have not yet succeeded with the new flat algos, but I keep trying. It has been said that courage is going forward with no guarantee and not even the knowledge that things are going to get better. So let courage be the word of the day. Secondly, high Bitcoin algos have never let me down so far. And again, so far, expanding them to the whole market seems to have worked out quite well. So I'd say carefully expand on what works. With that, I'll leave you until next time. And I wish all of you to at least once experience the feeling of making thousands of dollars while having beers with your friends. It's out of this world.